Okay, let's do this. Hi, I'm Randy, half of the Slasher siblings.
And I'm Kristen. Welcome to our new venture. Randy and I are really excited to share all things scary with you. It's going to include movie reviews, describe and tell episodes with different oddities that we own, ghost stories, true crime, Halloween haunt reviews, and really whatever else our twisted little brains come up with. Before we get started, though, there is something that we need to address. So, since I've been known to, I don't know, how do you say, be a little extra, naturally, we wrote and recorded our own jingle. We felt it needed a proper intro and a little bit of context before we threw it out at ya. So going forward, though, you'll have the pleasure of hearing it at the top of each episode. So, Randy, are you ready to reveal the jingle?
Oh, I am so ready to pull back the curtain on this.
Here she goes.
Welcome to our slasher spree, where mysteries and terror be and darkness comes for you and me. Join us on a slasher spree. There's no place to hide, and soon you'll see siblings on a slasher spree.
Okay, so did we just lose the 5 listeners that we had? Because I really hope not.
It's a very good possibility.
It is a
So
banger. It's a banger.
so aside from my opening scream, which arguably was the best part, and the little last part of the jingle there, it really was all you. So tell me, as someone who is obsessed with singing, actually, before we go to that and talk about the jingle, why don't we talk about your little karaoke room that you have in your apartment? Tell everybody about it.
I would be so happy to. And I am super proud to say that I turned my third bedroom into a fully functional karaoke lounge. And I'm talking like we got a little bistro where you can just sit with your drink and watch me perform. I've got wireless mics so you're not tripping over cords. I've got a full wig wall that I will thank Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek for inspiring me to build, because if you want to sing Celine, you got to be wearing a blonde wig. Let's be real. But the piece de resistance is the fully built custom stage that I had made for the room so that I can really live out my superstar fantasy.
I mean, I love it. I've seen it. I've yet to sing in it because that's terrifying, but, I
Well, now
will.
we have a jingle we can cover now on the stage. So
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so how did recording the jingle differ from your, Friday night karaokes? Because that's what you do, right? Every Friday night after you get home from work is, like, karaoke night?
yes, that's exactly true. And I'd say the biggest difference between Friday night karaoke and doing the jingle is that Friday night karaoke is super fun. Um,
It's rude. I was
yeah,
there for the recording of the jingle, and it was a hoot.
yeah, no shade. Working with you and Leo is absolutely amazing. But as all of you out there know, I am mostly known as a cover artist. So it's better for me when I have a pre recorded banger that I can take and just sing because it's already a song. And I can, I could tweak it and make it my own a little bit. But for the most part, like the hard creative work has already been done. When it came to
Mm.
the jingle, we were working with a blank slate pretty much. And that experience was interesting for me because I don't typically know how to sing something that has yet to be sung.
Mm.
So
Mhm,
it was a
mhm.
journey, but you know what? I don't think we've laughed that hard in a long time.
No, that's true. That's true. There was a lot of laughter, and I'm not sure why my direction of "do it better" wasn't good enough for you, but I guess we can move on from that.
Yes, it was a very constructive criticism by just either scrunching your face or being like, that was terrible.
Oh, it was
uh,
good. It was good.
yeah, it was good. But Kristen, I want you to tell everyone how this whole podcast idea even came about because it has been a whirlwind the last couple weeks.
That's true. That's true. So what was it? 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was just sort of a light bulb moment. My friends, Jason and Carrie, had asked me to be a guest on their podcast. It's called It's Not That Bad. They basically review movies that don't have the best Rotten Tomatoes score, and they help you understand why it's not that bad. So they had asked me to be on a Friday the 13th edition. I happily accepted, and then as the episode recording date got closer and closer, I was just sweating. There was just so much sweating. I didn't know what I was gonna say. I didn't know how I was gonna be funny. I just was way in my head, overthinking it. So naturally, when I'm in my head and I'm overthinking things, I text you. And I text you and I was like, "Oh, like, please join me on this." And you said yes. When we started the recording and we were into it, Carrie introduced us as the Slasher siblings, and it was literally like, again, light bulb moment. My brain started turning, and that was that.
I felt it in my soul when she introduced us as the Slasher siblings. It felt like it was meant to be. Like that just
Yes.
felt correct.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And another reason why I had disguised my anxiety as, not just saying, "Okay, Randy, please help me and rescue me from this." You were also, and you still are currently also doing a contest with Rue Morgue magazine. So, can you tell us more about this contest? Because we're going to be promoting it a lot.
Heck yeah, we are, because we got to win. So let's go back to the beginning. A few weeks ago, or I guess it's like September 5th at this point, so a month ago now, I was selected to compete in this magazine competition for a shot to be crowned the title of Face of Horror.
You
Love
have the
that.
face for it. You do.
Yeah,
You do.
that's yeah. We'll circle back to that because the amount of times people have told me I'm too handsome for this contest clearly don't really get it, but I'll take it. I'll
More
take it.
more people than just our mom have told you that?
Shut up.
Burn.
Anyway, circling back to the contest, once I am crowned and am able to now call myself the face of horror,
Mhm.
I'll also win $13,000 in cash. Ka-ching.
Yes.
But the really exciting part here is a photo shoot with Kane Hodder, who, if you don't know, is one of the actors who has played Jason Voorhees in 4 of the Friday the 13th films. And this photo shoot is going to be at the Woodbury House, which is like a famous haunted house in California where they film a lot of stuff like American Horror Story and yada, yada, you. And this photo shoot is then going to be featured in the magazine that's running for the contest. So I've actually been doing really well so far in the last few rounds. I'm holding first place. Thank you very much. But I
Woo!
still need all of your help to get me to the finish line. Each week is a new round. You can vote once for free every 24 hours. And if you've already been voting, then you've already been getting my daily reminders. And I've only had a few people unsubscribe, which is pretty decent.
Which is awkward too, because it's not like there's a button to unsubscribe. They literally just have to text you and be like, "Please stop messaging me."
Well, and the funny part is literally that I've been sending these reminders and then throwing people so much shade because they're either not responding or acknowledging my daily reminders, only to find out that, especially through text, a lot of people weren't getting the reminders because I think the network thought it was spam.
Which, I mean,
They're not
uh,
wrong, but come on.
that's fair. That's fair. And so we are going to have that link up on our website. We have it in our Instagram. What is it
Yes,
called?
I've got it in my bio as
Instagram
well.
bio. Yes, yes.
Ooh,
Link in bio. Link in bio.
right.
Um, and anywhere else that has a bio, we're still new to the social media world. So anywhere that has a bio, it's going to have the link. So check it out and make sure you vote for Randy. Oh,
Yeah.
most importantly, though, if you do win, you get a +1, yes?
That is true. I do get a +1, and
And tell the world who your +1 will be.
well, sorry, Adam. We had to have a conversation where I will not be taking my significant other, and instead will be taking, which now only makes sense, the other half of the slasher siblings, because who doesn't want to see us in a haunted house in California and then come back and talk about it?
Literally no one. That's okay.
But okay, we're getting off track. Let's sort
Okay.
of
Yes,
let's
yes.
circle back a little bit. I need you to help me understand your logic. In writing, producing, and recording an entire jingle for a podcast that didn't even exist yet. We had not even recorded a first episode. Please help me understand your mindset here.
So, the light bulb went off during the Friends podcast, like I told you about. Wheels a turning, and I don't know how to do a podcast episode. So I was like, well, I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on something that is fun and that I'm good at. Um, so I wrote a jingle. I didn't write the jingle. A little bit of AI helped me, as well as a lot of my husband, Leo. He helped with the lyrics, wrote all of the music. Um,
He
but yeah,
really is very talented.
it's true. It's true. I hate to admit it because he's gonna hear this. But that's fine. He is very talented, and we appreciate his help because his help normally would have been very expensive. But,
Mm, mhm,
you know,
mhm.
I live with him, so he cut me a deal. But, yeah, the podcast itself felt boring and overwhelming, and I just jumped into what I knew how to do, which was kind of being creative and my brain just went with it. And now I'm so glad because, like, I mean, we would have just had, like, a very standard boring opening, you know?
That's true.
And
The
now
jingle is, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I have to agree. I have to agree with you there. But we also really need to take a minute and talk about the famous Napoleon Bonaparte. Please give me the deets on this guy.
Yes. So Napoleon has been around for a few years now. He is a 12-foot skeleton that we acquired from Home Depot. Great purchase. Probably one of my favorite purchases ever. We got him
Agreed.
in the pandemic. So it was 2020?
Yeah,
2020.
that sounds right.
So scoured everywhere. There was none of them left. We ended up finding a floor model in Oshawa, I believe it was. So we drove out to Oshawa and convinced them to sell us the floor model, loaded him up, and he came home with us. So we were in the middle of a move at that point, but we moved into our new home the end of September, beginning of October. And the very first thing we did before we had bed set up or anything practical was we put Napoleon up in the front yard. Ever since then, he has been a huge hit. We dress him up for Christmas, for Easter, for St. Patty's Day, for Pride, for basically anything. Any excuse we have, we make him an outfit and put him up. We started working with the local food pantry, so we would put him up and have a donation bin, and people would be able to come and take their picture with them and donate food to the local food bank. And he's just been, for me, and from feedback that I've gotten, an overall joy. He made the front page of our local newspaper, I will also say.
That was actually amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he is a attraction on Google Maps as well, is he not?
He is a registered tourist attraction. Believe it or not, it was not me that did that. He only has five-star reviews, and he's just we love him. He's like part of the family, and we may or may not have acquired more.
I'm actually wanting to circle back to the fact that you weren't the one who made him a Google attraction. How did that happen then?
I was not. I was not. I had I contacted or I made a post in we have like we live in a small town north of the city, and we have one of those really catty, oh god, I don't know if anyone's gonna listen to this. One of those really catty like Facebook groups where everyone like outs the person speeding down the hill and and that sort of thing. I needed 'cause, I mean, you can't put up a naked skeleton in your front yard. Sometimes it's not appreciated, you know?
Well, it
So
seems a little inappropriate. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So Napoleon obviously needed clothing for certain events. So I had made a post in the um, Facebook group to see if anyone knew how to sew so that I could get some. Sounds so ridiculous when you say it out loud. So that I could get somebody to make him clothes. The woman that reached out and I ended up connecting with made him a precious reversible Easter vest and bow tie. And she just loved him and loved doing it and ended up registering him with Google. So she sent me a message and was like, "Oh, Google's going to send you a I don't even know what it's called, like a confirmation via snail mail to your address, and you go through a whole process and you claim the attraction, and that's that." Napoleon also has a website which has his whole backstory, which is very detailed. So we will also link Napoleon's website. I'll do it after your competition website though, because people will get very excited by Napoleon and get distracted. So
It's true. We do need to keep our priorities straight here. Let's focus on the $13,000 and the trip to
yes,
California.
yes. So
Then,
you're gonna vote for Randy and me technically,
yeah,
and then you're gonna go check out Napoleon's website. That's what's gonna happen there.
I think that's a good order of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've just about wrapped our first episode, even though this was kind of like the Seinfeld of episodes. It wasn't really about anything, but that's okay because we just needed to lay some groundwork first. And hopefully we haven't lost anyone. Hopefully we've intrigued everyone because we have some
Ooh.
really great stuff to come. And let's let Kristen tell you what's next.
Yeah, so I'm actually as you were saying that and talking about the Seinfeld episode that is this episode, I was thinking, I'm like, "What am I gonna title this episode?" We talked about some random varying items, but we'll work on that. So, for what's to come, so for the entire month of October, which we're gonna label chapter 1 of our podcast, we'll be reviewing all sorts of different haunts and events and oddity markets that Randy and I will visit or have visited. So each Thursday, so new episode will drop each Thursday in the month of October, and we're going to tell you about what we did the weekend prior. We're going to rate the events that we went to and the haunts that we went to in our own unique rating system. Uh, that way, you're able to kind of make some weekend plans and only go to the best of the best haunts because we've already vetted them for you.
Yeah,
On the
and
docket,
honestly, who doesn't want us to be vetting their Halloween haunts before they go?
yeah,
Because I mean, who else? Who else is going
yeah,
to do it and tell you like
right.
it is?
Mhm, mhm. We're gonna talk about the disaster that was Halloween Haunt at Wonderland a couple years ago, but
Oh my God.
let's hold that. So on the docket for October, we have Frightmare at the Falls, we have Martino Manor, Haunted Hallows, Feargrounds, we have a séance that Randy and I are gonna attend, we have Haunt Manor, we have a lot. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do a graphic of sorts, I suppose. I don't know what to call it exactly, but we will link all of the haunts and you'll be able to kind of study up ahead of time. We'll let you know what's coming up the week after. And then you can get your reviews from us and decide which haunt you're going to go to.
Love that for us and for you. All right. So, coming up next week, we will tell you about the Oddities Convention in Buffalo, as well as one of our favorite locations just west of the GTA, Cabinet of Curiosities.
Ooh.
Ah,
Ah. So we've both spent, oh God, a lot of money at this place.
a
Like a lot
lot,
of money. It
a
is
lot of
it
money.
is definitely one of our, if not our favorite local location for sure. So,
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, there'll be a lot to hear about. We're also actually gonna talk about the very first oddity that we ever got and what made us go from 1 or 2 items to entire cabinets and walls and corners. So that'll be interesting as well. I think that's it, Randy. I think we did our first podcast episode.
Did we just do it?
I think we did. So signing off. But before we do that, since we worked so hard on this jingle, we will also be closing each episode with it. So
You're welcome.
Welcome to our slasher spree, where mysteries and terror be and darkness comes for you and me. Join us on a slasher spree. There's no place to hide, and soon you'll see siblings on a slasher spree.
all right. Oh, I can stop it now.